So how do you actually make a comment in the reading discussion assignments for the semester? So inside of OneNote, each reading discussion assignment has these sort of two portions. The first portion where I'm inviting you just to kind of read through the materials that are there. And the reason that that's a separate step is that sometimes if there are interactive elements inside of the online text, sometimes those interactive elements don't work at the same time as the comments work. So I want to make sure you get a first exposure to them without worrying about commenting, and then go back and make the comments that you're hoping to make. And so the second set of links are comment links. And so if I click on one of those, I'm going to link that here. So in this example, what I see when I click on that discussion link is it brings up the section I'm asking you to read and comment on in your web browser. And this browser should work. Google Chrome, I find, has the best experience with this, but it should work in Firefox, it should work in Microsoft Edge, it should work in Safari. I find, though, that Google Chrome tends to be the most compatible with this. So if you're having issues with this part of the process, you might want to try using a different browser. But again, it should be cross-platform enough to be able to work in any of those different environments. So how do you actually leave a comment in a reading discussion? Well, the Hypothesis tool, once you've signed up for your free account, the way that it works is it has a little sidebar. So if you see this in the top right-hand corner of your browser, there's these three little buttons. And the little arrow button opens a drawer here that has the running discussion that people have posted so far inside of it. So if you want to see what's already been written, you can just open up that drawer and it'll show you what's there. The nice thing is that you can see it when you want to see it, and it can sort of go away when you don't. How you actually post a new comment in that thread. If you want to post a brand new comment, what you'll do is highlight a portion of the text in the web browser just with your cursor. So let's say I want to ask a question about or make a comment about so if the file that I posted is a PDF, it looks like sometimes it doesn't let you actually post a comment on a specific passage of the text. And so for that, what you'll do is you'll just add what's called a page note. And to add a page note, you'll either click on this little page button that's over here on the bottom of this bar, log in if you haven't logged into your Hypothesis account already, and then post a page note just by clicking that. Here's a new page note. It's behind my head right now, but let's kind of post to public. And so you can post a page note doing that, which for PDFs, it looks like that's the option that we have, unfortunately. But most of the reading discussions that I post are going to be on web pages rather than HTML, or rather than PDF. And so for that, it works a little bit nicer, and I'll show you that next. So here's one of the A3 reading assignments. And so if I want to make a comment on a specific passage of the text here, what I should be able to do is actually just highlight that passage using my cursor. So if I highlight, for example, this phrase, compounding periods, it pops up a little dialog that gives me the option to either highlight, which all it does is it just colors the text yellow, which I don't want, or annotate. Annotate is what I actually want to do here. So if I click the annotate option, then it both highlights that passage in yellow so that you and anyone else that reads this reading discussion can see that your comment is there. And it also pops up this add a comment dialog up above me here on the side. And so then I might ask a question. What do we mean here by compounding periods? For example, if interest is compounded continuously, how many periods would we say there are? You know, whatever. So you post your question, choose post to public, which is this gray button right here. And then anyone else who's looking at this page through this annotation lens, through this Hypothesis tool, will see that somebody has highlighted this passage as you're reading through it. And then if you click on that highlight, the little bar will pop up and it'll show you what question somebody asked that's there. If you're at a stage in the commenting process where you want to respond to people's comments, you can do that using this reply button. It's this little arrow here and these four options. And that just starts a thread. Here's a reply to this question. So you have kind of those two options. You can click and reply to a comment that's already there, or you can highlight a passage and add a new annotation to kind of start a new discussion thread on the page.